Hello, everyone. I'm Rebecca Lombardo, host of VendorVibes and fractional CMO. Today, I'm here with Nick from Proper Insurance. Hello, Nick.
How's it going?
Good. Thanks for joining me. So tell me, what is Proper Insurance?
So Proper Insurance is a specialty insurance brokerage that works exclusively with worldwide carriers such as Lloyd's of London, who's our primary underwriter. And what we do is we provide an insurance product specifically to the homeowner of the asset to insure their property on an annual basis, allowing for short-term rentals. And kind of pain points that it helps solve is in a couple of areas. The retail insurance market, you think your major brands that you see, Super Bowl commercials, et cetera, don't really address certain risks that are associated at short-term rentals. So we developed and built a product back in 2014 that's specific to this space to allow you to short-term rent your home, not have those gaps in property and liability protection. Also covering your income at a gross value, where a lot of companies probably do a fair market value. So correcting that kind of pain point in the event of a loss. It also gives the property owner a lot of flexibility in what they do with their property, since a lot of folks are using this not just as an investment property, but also use it themselves, use it with friends and family, and maybe do some more midterm stays and off season. So our policy allows for a bunch of flexibility within this marketplace. And that way you're not restricted by contract language on what type or length of rental you can do.
Is that what you would say makes you guys unique? Because I think you had mentioned before about how people make assumptions about insurance coverage and they're wrong. So
yeah,
can you talk to that a little bit?
Yeah, from a coverage standpoint, we're unique in a lot of ways. And so to kind of touch on just a couple of those, first and foremost, we're one of the only carriers in the United States or providers of insurance. Because again, Proper's not the carrier, that's the underwriter. We're just the agency that built it. But we don't have limitations on guest caused damage, which is a commonplace exclusion in the standard insurance market. If you hand the keys over to a stranger and they were to maliciously damage your home, there is no coverage. So that component makes us unique. The extensions that we provide on the liability component in the event of a lawsuit against the property owner is also unique to the marketplace that makes us stand out, because we don't just cover things that happen on the property. We also cover things that happen away from your premises. And this allows you to offer different types of amenities. If you're waterfront, canoes and kayaks, things like that. If you're beachfront, have bicycles, you can offer those. If you're in a golf community, non-licensed for road use golf carts would be covered under our liability as well. And then specifically bed bug protection, like we were first to market with that, and flea protection for pet-friendly properties. And then squatters protection for those who are doing more midterm rentals. We're the only company in the world with that. And so those are just a few components that really set us apart from the standard markets out there. Even, like you mentioned, the assumption making, just because you have an endorsement or enhancement on your current policy for short-term stays doesn't mean that you get all these additional benefits in the risk management plan.
So do I need to have anything in place in order to work with you guys, like a software or a website?
You don't. So we work with property owners all over the short-term rental spectrum. So whether you're just getting into the business and you inherited a property, you've owned a second property for a long time, you're buying your first investment property, use a short-term rental, even if you don't have an active online listing set up yet, as long as you intend to have one within the first policy year, you're a perfect fit for getting in with us and getting this policy put in place. If you've been in the market for 10, 15, 20 years, and you're coming to the realization that you maybe not be protected as well as you thought you were. You have one property, you have 10 properties in your personal portfolio. Those are all clients and folks that we work with. At the end of the day, our primary requirement is that you do have an active online listing available to the public. So standard OTAs like Airbnb, VRBO booking, midterm rentals on sites like Furnish Finder, or maybe you do your own direct bookings via your own website. That is all part of our online listing requirement.
So you mentioned like 1 to 10 properties. Do you guys have a limit in terms of how many properties you have to have, or do you work with certain people up to a certain size? Is there a certain size of property?
We don't have a limit on how many properties you might have in your portfolio. We do work with some kind of larger investor groups who are probably knocking on the door of more of 100 properties in their portfolio, and they have a series of investors and they have funding groups that you can get into. And we work with them as well, because at the end of the day, every single individual address needs to have insurance on it. And so we work well all across the board. And then another thing here is unique stays. So is if you have an Airstream trailer that's permanently affixed to the property and immobilized, we can insure that as long as it's not considered mobile equipment. If you have a well-engineered and constructed treehouse, we see some of those unique stays. We're able to do that. We have some folks with some very expansive properties in areas like Texas that have multiple cabins throughout the property. And those are all things that we can build a package around to protect your short-term rental business.
I love that. We insure tree houses. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you think about some of your happiest clients right now, can you share why they are so happy with you?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of different spectrums, right? With the happiness of clients. Like nobody wants to or ever really feel super happy about insurance, right? Because you don't really have a relationship with the carrier. You generally have a relationship with the agent, with an office on Main Street or whatever, and you're happy with them. But if something happens, you might be unhappy with the carrier. Because we built the product ourselves and we work directly with the carrier and handle all of the claims in-house, which is also very unique to our business operation. A lot of our clients become exceedingly more happy with us in a claim event because things tend to go their way very smoothly and very quickly. On this question, I actually think back to my very first client. When I started at the business almost 9 years ago, some very, very unique properties in Florida that are very large scale. We're talking they can house, I think one of them is 55 people. They're on an expansive acreage. They have a lot of unique amenities and fun games. They basically are there for folks who might do 1 or 2 days in Disney as a family, but primarily you're going to spend your time at this property. Being able to navigate through underwriting and tackle these unique amenities and unique situations, and then for somebody to be a client for that long in this particular business is unique in itself. And so just before we even got on here, just replying to another email to them about, hey, got a question, and I know they're happy about the quick response. I think a majority of our customers and majority of our reviews that you'll find online are in 2 areas. One, just purely customer service, professionalism, the amount of knowledge that our team holds in this industry. This is all we do. This is our lifeblood as well. So we know the short-term rental industry better than any other insurance provider. And then from a claims handling perspective, so if you look through our reviews, you'll see a lot of very long reviews about how the claim was handled, how folks are appreciative of how quick we're able to come to settlement, make sure we get things done and complete, get your income paid as quickly as possible so you can get back up and running in this business when the unfortunate circumstance of a claim happens.
Well, I know this is great for a lot of listeners to hear. So thank you so much for taking time to share this very valuable information. If anybody wants to get in touch with you, what's the best way?
The best way to get in touch with us is typically via the website. We are based out of Bozeman, Montana, but our team here in Bozeman, we're licensed to sell insurance and operate in all 50 states. So wherever you're at in the US where you have a vacation rental, you can go onto our website and there's tons of information for you there to review, get to know us a little bit better. You can easily request a quote online via our website at www.proper.insure. There's no .com, so just proper.insure. You can also call us at 888-631-6680, and we'll get you in touch with the agent in my office for your area, and they can go through a full in-depth consultation. It's really it's a no commitment type situation. We'd like to get you a quote to review. We would like to go through 15 to 30 minutes on the phone with you to really talk about certain risks that you might have at your property and how we can solve and fill those gaps in coverage via our product in comparison to what you have in place now.
Awesome. That's great of you guys. Well, thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, everyone. Cheers.